Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're just going to be doing a super chill hangout video. I've been working on my Goodreads romantasy vlog, which is really stressful, and I'm reading so many books for that, as well as already plotting what else I need to get to. So I kind of just want to do a little chit chat video where we talk about the special editions, because I think everyone can agree it's gotten a bit out of hand. And I feel like it started with Onyx Storm earlier this year, and it's just getting worse. It's getting worse every time I feel like I visit a website or visit a store in person. It's like, hey, look at these special editions that you don't need, but it's limited and you gotta get it before it happens. And I fell for it. This is not me pointing fingers at people saying, hey, you shouldn't do that, because I've done it. Anything we're going to talk about, I've probably done it, and that's why I feel okay talking about it, because I don't like saying, hey, you shouldn't have done this. It's no, I probably shouldn't have done it because it's out of control. And I think it's really important to talk about, especially right now, because of all the overconsumption that is going on. I feel like everybody is talking about overconsumption right now. I feel like we've gone from, yes, overconsumption is cool, to wait a second, hold on, maybe it's not actually cool. And I don't think it ever was cool. I just wasn't thinking of it as overconsumption, because I don't generally go get stuff that I don't want. And I think that's where my brain gets confused about overconsumption, because you can still overconsume things that you actually want. And I think that's where I get a little bit confused. So to give a very obvious example, we're actually going to be talking about Taylor Swift very quickly. Don't click away. It's very quick. I just want to give a very easy visual representation of the overconsumption that we're going to be talking about and the examples that I'm going to be giving, because I think, and this, I want to show you that I am one of you. If you're watching this holding your 16 editions of Fourth Wing, I'm one of you. I am you guys. So I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing this. I kind of just want to talk about this, not in any negative light or positive light. I just want to talk about it. And I think the best way to start is with the Taylor Swift collection. And that's because every single one of these CDs is the same. So if you guys weren't aware, Taylor Swift does a lot of drops. I did not realize it was a thing until this year. She does a lot of drops. And unfortunately, most of them are the same thing. So she did 17 vinyls. She didn't actually do 17. Did she do 17 vinyls? She just released 3 more. There were so many vinyls, and not one of them had a different song on the CD. It was only the artwork and the potential poetry or pictures that actually came with the vinyl. And that's genius. It's genius marketing. Because it is, number one, she used scarcity marketing. If you don't buy it immediately, it's going to sell out. So you are rushed into making a decision to spend money that you probably don't have or don't want to be spending. It's about to hit Christmas. A lot of people are going to be in a money crunch for the next couple of months. And this came out, I think, in October. So it's not, and they're not a small amount of money. So that's why I'm showing you guys immediately, because I want to show you my shame so we can just talk about it openly. This doesn't feel like me pointing fingers. These are all the same CD. There is nothing different about them except for this one has 2 acoustics extra on it, and they weren't very good, to be honest. If you liked them, that's great. I didn't really like them that much, but I got these because of the artwork. I was so afraid of missing out on something that I got all of these. They are all the same, again, minus a couple random acoustics thrown in there. Do I need all of these? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But in my head, I was like, these are going to sell out, which they have. They've been removed. You can't buy a lot of these anymore. And I was terrified that I was going to miss out on something. And that is the word of the day. FOMO. FOMO is the word of the day. And it's funny because I never had FOMO in college. And I didn't have FOMO for parties. I didn't have FOMO for drinking. I didn't do partying. I just kind of hung out with my friends at the dorms. And then at apartments afterwards, I didn't do the party scene. Whenever my friends would ask me, hey, do you want to go drink? Do you want to do it? No, I'm good. I'm going to sit here by myself and just hang out. I never had that problem. With books and with Taylor Swift related things, the FOMO is bad. And I think that is something that corporations are very good feeding into. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The fear of missing out is so easily exploited, especially with scarcity marketing. So I think we don't really need to talk about scarcity marketing. We know what scarcity marketing is. I feel like the best example of scarcity marketing was the recent Starbucks Bear Cup drama. If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely go just look up Starbucks Bear Cup. and there will be a bunch of commentary channels talking about it. It was mayhem, insanity, people fighting over these stupid little glass cups, and could never be me, but I can't judge them for it because I got this. I have this. I have Onyx Storm. It's the same thing. It was the same situation. This wasn't as bad because you could get online at 3 in the morning and order it, which I did, but who in their right mind is doing that? Who actually in their right mind, who is thinking clearly, is getting up at 3 a.m. to buy a book that they already have an edition of? Who's doing that? I did. I did. Who should be doing that? Nobody. Nobody should be doing that. But scarcity marketing is brilliant. It is a brilliant tactic. It is cruel and it is super consumer not friendly. It is not friendly to consumers. It is not thinking about consumers whatsoever. It is thinking about trends and TikTok and, hey, we have a thing that everybody wants. We're only going to make a couple of them. And that's what's happening a lot right now. Scarcity marketing it's just a brilliant piece of marketing. It is. I have to admit, it's brilliant. Is it ethical? Probably not. Probably not, because you are using psychology against the average person who potentially doesn't know what that feeling is that they're feeling when they're trying to buy a book like this. The panic. I think I stayed up all night, panicked that I wasn't going to get this. I don't even look at it. It's on my shelf. I look at it. I'm like, oh, cool. Look at those spiked edges. I really like them. I didn't even read this edition. I read a different edition of this book. Why did I need this? Why was I so scared not to get this book? And the same with the Taylor Swift CDs. Why was I so scared not to get them? Why did I let myself be like that? And I don't think it's letting yourself. I think there is an aspect of the brain that if you love something, because I love this series, I was so scared that I would read the book and need a copy. And I think part of scarcity marketing is relying on scalpers and resellers to add to that scarcity marketing terrifying feeling. Because in my brain, I knew if I didn't get my hands on this, this would probably be online for $200. And I am not spending $200 to buy a copy of this. This is a great example of scarcity marketing with the Starbucks Bear Cup. So that being said, everything right now has a deluxe edition. Or if it doesn't, it's going to be coming out with the deluxe edition. So a good example, and kind of what sparked this video a little bit, was a mixture of Brimstone, Quicksilver, and Direbound. I was originally kind of not going to do this video until the Direbound situation. And everything that I talk about in this video is to my best knowledge. I tried to look up everything that I possibly could to make sure that I was getting my dates. I'm not saying any dates. I'm bad with numbers. I will mix them up. All my information and release ideas, versions, etc. are to the best of my knowledge. If I get something wrong, definitely let me know down below. But Direbound and a lot of Kindle Unlimited books who are originally indie published are getting picked up by traditional publishing, or just publishing houses in general, could be indie publishers, and they are getting special editions. But the trend right now is to quickly push out a readable version. So I bought the paperback edition of Direbound, which I found easily at the store. I went to the Barnes & Noble, it was easy to find, picked it up, said, awesome, I'm loving this book. I then look up the book online, and there are pre-orders available for deluxe editions. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, this book is already out. A lot of people already own this book. What's this deluxe edition? So basically, why should I buy this edition when I already own a paperback? And the answer is because you want a matching edition. Because if you want to get the second book when it comes out, you're going to have to get a hardcover book. A hardcover, probably a deluxe edition. So why wouldn't you get the other one? Why wouldn't you re-get the first book in a deluxe edition? So now I'm sitting at having a paperback and knowing that I'm gonna get this deluxe edition. And for me, Direbound was a 5-star. That is a spoiler, a little sneak peek for the Romantasy vlog, but Direbound was a 4.5, 5-star, soft 5-star for me. And so my brain is like, yeah, think, this could be like a long series. We don't even know if it's a duology. What if this is like a 5-book series and all of them have special editions and the only one that I have a paperback in without the special edition is the first book? I'm not doing that. So I'm gonna have to get, see my brain, this is how my brain works. I have to, not I could, I have to, I need that edition of the book. And I don't. And I think that's where publishing is so smart right now. It's so smart right now because if I was smart, I would not have bought a paperback of the book. I would have been happy just reading it Kindle Unlimited, but I wanted the paperback of it and I didn't think anything of it. And it's sad now that before buying a book, you have to go look if there's going to be a re-release, if there is something announced that's coming in the future that you're like, oh wait, I can't buy it now. I gotta wait for like 4 months for this like new edition to come out. I gotta wait. So this is a great example. This is a great example because I'm looking at Fury Bound right now and it shows on Barnes & Noble's website, hey, there is no paperback for pre-order. There is no paperback. The paperback's probably going to come out in a year after this releases. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant to have that first book released out in paperback and be like, hey, you're going to need to get a matching set when this comes out. And it's so smart because this is coming out May 5th. Fury Bound Deluxe Edition is May 5th. And the Deluxe Edition of Dire Bound is coming out March 3rd. So you can go get this, do your little reread, and then get Fury Bound when it comes out. It's brilliant marketing. Is it nice to your consumers? No, but I mean, it is what it is. And the problem is you don't want to be mean to the author because I think the best case scenario is once that book gets picked up for traditional publishing and you know you're going to put out this special edition, you know the second book is going to have just hardback when it initially comes out, you should probably pull the book from being able to purchase it. If you want to leave it on Kindle Unlimited, fine. But you should not be stocking the shelves at every available bookstore with a almost defunct copy of the book. It's kind of similar to what happened with Quicksilver. But the problem is if you remove the ability to buy that paperback, that cuts into what the author is making. Because I bought Dire Bound in that amount of time where the book probably should have been pulled, the paperback should have been pulled. You don't want to punish the author for probably an author/publisher decision. So that's why it gets complicated because yes, I do think there is an ethical thing here. But I don't know where the line is. I don't know where the line is where it's on the consumer to just not buy things that are coming out, or if it's on the publisher to realize they are using kind of icky methods to get people to buy more copies of a book they've already read. So another really good example of this, and one of the bad ones, and I saw this in store, so like, I need to talk about this. When the Moon Hatched. When the Moon Hatched has, you know, that original cover. It's blue, there's dragons on it, whatever. I have one of them. I think I have the Waterstones edition of it, and it's got pretty edges. I bought the Waterstones edition because there was no US fancy edition, so I ended up getting the Waterstones edition. I ended up getting a damaged copy because I bought it secondhand, and I purposefully was looking for a dent and ding version of it so I could have an edition that didn't cost an arm and a leg because the resale values of this book are insane. The problem is we are now coming out with fancy editions in the US. So a lot of people already have copies. They got them last year, they got them the year before. They already have editions of this book, and boom, Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble shows up with a brand new, completely differently designed version of this book. Are the contents any different? No, they're not. So people are going to be buying this book when they don't need to be buying this book. They could be spending money on other things. They could be saving this money. They could be paying off loans. They could be putting it towards a house. They could be doing all these things with this money. But instead, Barnes & Noble is saying, hey, we got a limited edition book. We got a limited run. I don't know when these are going to sell out. They're going to sell out though. 100% they're going to sell out. And so I felt the urge to buy it. I walked past that table and I saw it. It's beautiful. And I was like, do I need that? Do I need that $32 book? Do I need that? Have I read it? No, haven't read it yet. Am I gonna buy it if I love it? Probably. But I'm waiting. I'm at least waiting. That's something I've been working on. We're going in steps here, okay? My channel right now is, I feel like since last year when I started the Purge videos, in reading all my BookBox books, because it has helped. I've skipped a lot of books. I'm thinking about canceling some. I am taking the steps to program myself into being in this overconsumption of books situation. And so one of the big things right now is me reading a book before I get the special edition of it. There are some exceptions, obviously, because some you have to order before they come out, like some of the Fairy Loot ones, but I'm very careful about ordering sequels. I haven't been ordering sequels unless I've read the first book, and I haven't been buying doubles of things. I've been trying not to buy doubles of things, which is why I skipped the Owl Crate for December, because I already own the book, and honestly, I haven't been loving Owl Crate's edition so far. Those are the things that I'm working on. I recognize them. However, I also recognize that if I love When the Moon Hatches, I am probably going to get this edition as well. That's just how it is. That's how it is. But I recognize that it's a problem. And that's what we're working on. Next year, that's kind of hopefully what we're working on, which, hey, I haven't read the book. I have no plans to read the book, so maybe gone by the time I read it. Who knows? This is the perfect example. It's a stunning book, totally redesigned, but why? What is the purpose of this new edition? Why do we need this other than to make people buy something they don't need? There is no purpose to this book. I am a little bit more lenient because it is Barnes & Noble doing it, an actual dedicated bookstore. So I know a lot of people have problems with Barnes & Noble and Book of the Month. I was going to say Book of the Month. Books A Million, because they are big chain stores that do take away from indie booksellers. However, I just want bookstores to survive in general. I want them to survive. I want them to figure out a way to outdo Amazon, to survive these other stores. And I think that's what I'm scared of right now, because we're going to move into the section about Target and Walmart getting their own special editions, which I don't think they should. Brimstone, and actually Quicksilver. Both of these are Target exclusive editions. The only reason Target and Walmart are doing exclusive editions is just to make money. They don't care about their book buyers. At least there's a semblance of, okay, Barnes & Noble is a bookseller. Books A Million is a bookseller. Books A Million is branching out into merch as well, but at least it's like bookish merch. They are booksellers. They care about their readers because their readers are their primary source of income. They have to care about their readers just because that is where their money comes from. They may not care as us as people, but we're dollar signs. They care about us enough to be like, hey, we need to treat them respectfully so that they treat us respectfully and want to come back to us. Target and Walmart don't need us. They don't need us. Well, Target might. So Target making these special editions, I just don't like it. I don't like that Walmart's doing it. I don't like that Target is doing it. I don't like that there is an option to buy a special edition from these big box stores, but there is no option of an indie exclusive book. Why is that? Why is that? I don't understand that. I'm trying to think of why that is the case. But I guess it's because the indie bookstores probably wouldn't buy as many copies, because Target's probably buying 20 copies per store and it's a chain store. Makes sense. It's bigger contracts. With indie sellers, you would have to be like, hey, we're going to make an indie edition. Only indie bookstores can buy it. And you'd have to hope that indie bookstores buy stock. And I think that's too scary for publishers, which is really sad because I think that would be fantastic for the indie bookstore community. And I wish there was more of that, because we had that with Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay, where there was a very specific indie exclusive book that you could get on Indie Book Day, something like that. If you went to an indie bookstore, a lot of them were carrying it. And it was so cool. I'm pretty sure it's sold out in most stores. Why wouldn't you make that a normal offering? Why isn't this indie exclusive? Why is Target the one who is able to buy stock of this, create this with the publisher, and sell this and make money off of this? This should be an indie kind of thing. I don't like the trend that we're moving in of especially Target being the one carrying these really nice special editions. That's what's so strange is Barnes & Noble, When the Moon Hatched, this is a great example of a really pretty edition. That's awesome. But Target's editions are looking better than the deluxe editions of these books. They have their own edition, I think, of Direbound coming out. I love how I was just talking about this. I was just talking about Target and the way that they kind of jump on these bandwagons. They have just announced a new edition of Direbound coming out December 30th. What are we doing? What are we doing? Release date, December 30th. This is brand new at Target. It also includes an exclusive sneak peek at Fury Bound. Brilliant. Brilliant, and it makes me angry. It makes me so mad. Is this hardcover or paperback? It's a paperback, and it has a different colorway on the cover. So you're getting an exclusive peek at Fury Bound. You're getting an exclusive coverway. So are we going to get an exclusive edition of Fury Bound in paperback with the release of the hardback? I don't think so. I would love to see that because I think that's more fair to the consumers who are going to go out and buy this. Pretty much just for the exclusive sneak peek of Fury Bound. I might go to the store just to read it in the store and not actually buy it. But it's beautiful. It's a very pretty cover, but it is just a colorway change. But they're adding all these little things in that it's like, oh wait, do I need to get this? As a collector, do I need to get this? Oh, that is so sneaky. That is so... I can't believe I caught it like that. So there is a Target exclusive edition just coming out December 30th. A brand new Target edition that you already have. We barely did anything to change it, but I know you're going to buy it anyway. The exclusive edition of Silver Elite. I feel like the exclusive edition of Silver Elite, brilliant. Brilliant, because a lot of people don't like gilded edges, and the original Silver Elite was gilded edges. I didn't buy it because I didn't like that. I actually got the Book of the Month edition, which kind of regret. It doesn't look that good. I want this edition of Silver Elite by Target. It's $35. For what? For what? That's crazy. That's crazy. So reason I haven't bought it yet. But this is what I'm talking about. Is this so far is like the best edition I've seen? I would buy this over book companies. And the idea for me of buying physical books is to also help bookstores to keep them up and running, not help a box chain store. I don't understand. It's just so strange. It's so strange because it feels almost like the publishers are betraying the readers by doing this. It does. It feels like that. It feels like the publishers are betraying bookstores. Why are you giving Target and I don't know how this works. I would love for someone to explain to me, like, does Target go to the publisher and say, hey, we have a great idea and here's our art team. This is what our art team came up with. Or is it like they approach each other? Or does the publisher approach the chain store and say, hey, we have a cool edition that we want you to do? Does the author say, hey, I want to work with this company? How does it work? Because I think depending on how it works, depends on how I should feel about these publishers. Because if the chain store talks to them, but again, I don't know if that makes it any better. I don't know if that makes it any better, but like a publisher's not going to turn down that amount of money because we also want our publishers to keep staying up. Print-based media was definitely going downhill before COVID. And then with BookTok and BookTube and COVID, it was something to do to go out and get a book, even if you couldn't leave your car. It became a thing. And now with these special editions, it's brought back to life publishing and all this type of stuff, which is sad. I mean, but Kindles were huge. You don't have to lug around giant books. But I feel we're taking like a giant step back by offering these beautiful books to these big chain stores. It just feels like handing Amazon things. Like it feels like the Amazon wars all over again, but this time it's now with Target and Walmart included because Amazon is still getting massive sales. By the way, I told you this is gonna be a little random video. None of this is actually gonna make a lot of sense. I just kind of wanted to chat about this, what was been on my brain for a while. And I don't know if there's any semblance of a message of this. I just wanted to talk about it. Oh, my bad. I didn't even see Target. Oh, see, there you go. Target is now offering their pre-order of Broken Dove. Target exclusive edition of Broken Dove, which is better than what Barnes & Noble in the deluxe edition looks like, because I don't like gilded edges. A lot of people don't like gilded edges. So what am I gonna do? Here's the dilemma. I don't want to get the Book of the Month edition. I probably should if they're gonna have one. That's the other problem. I try not to get fantasy books or books in a series from Book of the Month. I've kind of toned down what I'm getting from Book of the Month a lot. That's part of my deprogramming this year, was not getting that much Book of the Month stuff. But here's the dilemma. This is the dilemma I feel like everybody is facing. This edition of Silver Elite just came out. It hasn't been around that long. It didn't come out when the book first released. So when the book first released, most people got their copies. But now I'm seeing this edition from Target. It's a gorgeous copy. I'm not going to buy it. But then I see the pre-order for the second book. Okay, out of all of the editions of Broken Dove, which one would I get? The answer would be the Target edition because it is the nicest. It has the most care put into it in my eyes. What do I do about the first book? I want a matching set. And that's how it's so sneaky. That's why publishing and marketing of these books has become so sneaky, because the same thing is happening with Diary Bound. You see the pre-order for the deluxe edition, they say, oh, you gotta get the deluxe edition, but most people already have a copy of it. So we're running into this problem of, if you want matching editions, you're gonna have to have multiple copies of a book. That's what we're coming down to. I don't know what to do, because I don't think it's getting better. I think it is getting worse. Because if you look at my other egregious example is Bridge Kingdom. Oh my gosh. Bridge Kingdom has the original covers. Then they came out with paperbacks with this beautiful design. It is definitely one of those things I was influenced to get because it was beautiful. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but it was beautiful. I bought a paperback. They announced the deluxe edition, and actually I think it just came out. The deluxe edition is the same design as the paperback, but it's in hardback and it has sprayed edges. And they're going to continue in the series with those hardbacks. So now people who have bought 3 of the paperbacks, of the new paperbacks, because I think they got to like book 3 or 4, maybe even more, before they came out with these new hardbacks, those people are now going to go buy the hardbacks, because they're like, wait a minute, I want the hardbacks. Like, these are nice. What if we continue a series or do a spin-off, or this author does another series that matches these? Oh, The Hunting Party. I almost fell into that trap. Target released a Target exclusive version of The Hunting Party, and it doesn't look that great online. I saw it in person the other day. Stunning. Oh my god, it's beautiful. It's so pretty in person. I've already read the book. I like the book. It's a thriller. I'm never going to reread it. I don't even have a copy, I think, of The Hunting Party. I think I read it from Libby. Why would I buy a copy? Why would I buy a copy of this book? It's not a favorite book. It's not something I'd reread. Why would I buy it? I wouldn't. So why did I try? I didn't. I was very proud of myself. But why? Why would I do that? So that's just like the thought process. And I think this is a good video just to put down your thought process of books, because I feel like some people don't get it. Some people don't understand. They don't have this FOMO. They don't have this, they don't understand. And they think it's just people's lack of self-control, which is part of it. There is a lack of self-control, but there is a massive psychological aspect of this. And this is someone who is not on TikTok, not getting really influenced by TikTok. It's just me seeing these things and wanting it for my own collection. I'm not getting super influenced by other influencers and stuff like that. Shield of Sparrows, I was influenced for that one, but there's a couple things. But in general, it's just my brain's desire to have a certain look of something and to have the best of something. And I think everyone's brain at some point is wired that way. Like, some people want the best car that they can get. Do they already have one that they don't need to get rid of yet? Yeah, but like, I want the best one. iPhones, I want the best iPhone. I want the one that works the fastest. Like, my battery life just is a little not great. So like, I need a new phone because that's the new one. It has this like new memory thing in it. The TV. My TV is just slightly too small. I need a brand new TV, even though mine works absolutely perfectly. So everybody has had these thoughts. I just don't think everyone thinks about them as an overconsumption kind of thing. But buying a new TV when you have a TV that already works, that is overconsumption. What are you doing with that old TV? Are you just going to get rid of it? What's the purpose of getting a new TV when yours already works and it basically is the same size? You're just slightly upgrading. What's the point? When you get a new phone, but yours works perfectly fine, what's the point of getting that new phone other than you just want something new? You want something that works a little bit better. That's the same thing here. Silver Elite, I have a mediocre edition of it. In my eyes, it's okay, it's fine. This Target exclusive edition, it's better, it's sleeker, it's nicer. That's what I want on my shelf. It is the same general idea. So when someone says, well, I don't understand why you collect all these books, I don't get it. What do you collect? What have you gotten recently that you didn't need? What was your thought process while you were buying it? It's the same thing. It is obviously a little more extreme, a lot more versions. But I mean, when you're buying that phone, it's the equivalent of like 40 books. So is it really that much more extreme? So that's kind of the broad strokes of this. I just kind of wanted to get my thought process and my brain in order a little bit because of, I mean, the second I walk in a store these days, it's like, ooh, read that new edition, I want it. And it's like, whoa, stop. What are you doing? Like, what? You don't need that. You don't, like, I promise you don't need that. And that's what happened when I walked past When the Moon Hatched. That's what happened when I walked past Silver Elite. I'm just like, I don't need these things. why is my brain telling me I need these things? And so it just is, it's a mix of human nature, how things are marketed, brilliant marketing, and it is the FOMO. The FOMO's bad. It's bad. Anyway, I just kind of wanted a little bit of a chit chat. I think, because I had listed a bunch of here. So Alchemy of Secrets, that one was not great. Like that had a Barnes & Noble exclusive, that had a regular edition, and it barely changed anything on the covers. Not great. Bridge Kingdom we talked about, Quicksilver Brimstone we talked about. Oh, A Dark Forgetting in Edgewood. This is something else that publishers are doing, which are really smart. Kristen Ciccarelli came out with the Rebel Witch series? The Rebel Witch is the second book. Heartless Hunter, Crimson Moth. Crimson Moth. Came out the Crimson Moth series, huge hit. Massive hit. People are huge fans of it, love it. She has an earlier book called Edgewood. It didn't do super great. It just kind of exists. The publishers are wisening up. They're wisening up because they're doing this with Jennifer Lynn Barnes as well. They took Edgewood, they stripped it of its name, they stripped it of its cover, and they have renamed it A Dark Forgetting, gave it pretty edges, and re-released it. And guess who bought it? This person. Edgewood's been out for forever. I could have bought it and read it a little while ago. I didn't. So why did I buy the new edition of it? Suddenly it seemed more interesting. And publishers are getting wise to the, okay, this author is really popular. They did something before and maybe it wasn't as popular, so let's be a little sneaky and re-release it. And so Jennifer Lynn Barnes right now is finding huge success with her Inheritance Games series and the spin-offs that come with it. She has other series. She has the Natural series, which just got a total new look. You cannot buy the original books anymore. You have to buy the new covers, which means if you have the first couple books and you don't have the other ones, you gotta get the new ones if you want matching sets. But she has an earlier series. I don't remember what it's called, but they have been, again, stripped of their name, and they've been stripped of their covers, and they've been renamed and re-released, and they're beautiful editions. I never thought about reading them before. I want to read them now. And brilliant. It's brilliant marketing. Like, it's so smart. It's so smart. It's so sneaky, though, at the same time, especially when you change the name of the book. I think repackaging a book is fine, but when you change the name of it, like, I know most of these are like, say, hey, this formerly known as Edgewood, but if you're just looking at the book, you're not looking at anything else, and you're like, oh, I love this author, I haven't read this book yet, you buy it and you get it and you're like, wait a minute, what is this? I think I've already read this. Or if you haven't, it's still, you weren't originally interested in it, you didn't read it before, so why would you be interested now? So that one kind of was like, ooh, that's interesting. So that is also a little bit kind of what happened with One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. Night and the Moth did incredibly well, which One Dark Window did great. But again, the publishers have now come out with special editions of One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. There's a different UK set and there's a different US special edition deluxe set. Deluxe. They use that word deluxe. I love that. And I almost fell into it. Almost fell into it and bought them. Why? So it's just, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I think we're going to end on the most egregious to me. And if you like these editions, fantastic. I love that for you. I hope you enjoy them. I'm not saying that, I am going to say they're bad. So if you liked the night court editions of the ACOTAR series, I would end the video here. It's been great. I loved having you here. Definitely let me know down in the comments down below what you thought about the video, what you think about publishing right now, and the new editions, all this type of stuff. Otherwise, stick with me, and we're going to talk about that Night Court edition. They are the laziest, most insulting editions I've ever seen put out into the public. They are hideous. And I don't say that lightly because everyone has different opinions. Everybody can like what they like. But these are not good. They are purely for a money grab. They don't look good. It's just the original copies with just completely turned to a black edition, which has nothing to do with the Night Court, really, at all. These sprayed edges are black, which, if you know anything about sprayed edges, the darker the sprayed edge, the more probability of screwing it up, because you have to go over it a couple of times. It has to look nice. I mean, I have my edition of, let's see, I have my edition of Fourth Wing. Looks nice. So this edition of Fourth Wing, it looks decent, but you can still see, like, you can see any imperfection. Do you see the corner? You can see any imperfection in a black sprayed edge. This is my edition of Iron Flame. I got one of the better ones. I had to sort through like 70 books to get a nice one, but you can see any problems with a black sprayed edge. The black sprayed edges, they're tricky. You just don't want to do them that much. Or unless you're going to do them right and go over them multiple times. These are the laziest sprayed edges I've ever seen. They are splotchy. They are terrible. You can see the pages. You can see the white pages underneath them. They are not done well. It literally feels like someone I know it's a machine, but it feels like someone just did this and was like, okay, it's good. And it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing because so many people were so excited about having like a Night Court edition, a Valeris edition of these books because it's such an important thing to the series. And so everyone was like, these are going to be the prettiest editions in the world. And instead, they are hideous. They're hideous and they are a slap in the face of consumers of your books. You already changed the covers and forced people to get the new covers if they want matching, which I didn't. I have the original covers, and the only one that I have as a different cover is, I'm slowly getting them, but I'm trying to find them on sale, like massive sale. If I can find them in used bookstores, that's when I get them, except for A Court of Silver Flames. I got it when it came out. So A Court of Silver Flames and A Court of Mist and Fury are the only two that I have as hardbacks of like the new look, because I refuse to buy them full price. If I already have them, I'm not buying them full price. So you already forced people to rebuy if they want a whole matching set with A Court of Silver Flames because you did not release the original design. You then release a set of paperbacks, which are also different. So if people love this series and they want to collect, they're going to get those as well. Then you say, hey, I got something real cool for you. We're going to make these Night Court editions. We're going to make them. They're going to be beautiful. And then you show them and it's just the original covers just painted completely black. How is that not insulting? How is that not incredibly rude to your readers? That is, I remember when those came out, I was just in shock that the publisher thought that was a good idea. Stunning lack of common sense. It's like absolutely stunning lack of common sense. They could have sold out of those books if they put any thought into it. Just any thought, any little amount of thought into those books and selling them as a Valeris or Night Court edition. Those should have sold out within the pre-order. The first day. It should have been an Onyx Storm situation for these books. And instead people saw them and said, oh, you hate us. You hate us. You don't like us. You just want our money. You don't care about us at all. And that's really sad. It's really sad. And this is a perfect way to finish this. This is a perfect way to finish this because to me that is the most egregious change. But we are heading in that direction. It's getting worse and worse as this year has gone on. And I'm afraid what's going to happen in 2026. I think it's just going to keep getting bad until people decide to stop buying them. And I don't know if that will ever happen. I feel like after the Starbucks thing, I don't think our society as a whole is ready to shun these special editions and these special custom things that are coming out. I don't think we're ready for it. So over the next year, I'm going to keep my eye on things. I'm going to keep watching what is being released. And otherwise, we're just going to see what happens, I guess. So anyway, that was the video. That was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're here but you don't have anything else to say, definitely leave a book stack emoji. I feel like that's easy. We talked about a lot of books. Definitely leave a comment down below what you think about publishing, what you think about these new releases. Be kind. Don't call names, any authors or anything. I tried to leave authors out of this because I don't know how involved some of these authors are in the decision that these publishers are making. And definitely leave it if you enjoyed it. Again, this was just a chatty stream of consciousness video. And make sure to subscribe to see missing future content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.